Hey guys, you're watching one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to an episode of Let's Build a City. And the first thing that we're going to do today is something that we should have done about 300 episodes ago. No joke. And you guys have been telling me to do it ever since for about 3 years. And that is correcting the numbers on the runway. Yay! So, the numbers represent the direction, the angle that the runway is. So north is that way is east, that way is south, and that way is west. And if it's pointing this way to that way, this number should be 9 because it's 90 degrees. That one would be 18. This one would be 27, and that one would be 0. Now, strangely enough, I think, I don't remember, I'll have to look back on the video, I think I picked number 27 completely randomly, but it turns out that that is one of the correct numbers. 27 should be on the left hand side, on the west side, and on the east side this should be 0, 9. So we shall put that in, and hopefully you guys will be super stoked, super happy. So if we, let's turn these off. So 0 shouldn't be too difficult if I can just match the same way. Now the reason why I get these crazy lag spikes is because of, I've got hiccups, is because this area is like basically a big cave underneath here, and when you cover it up with this last block, it sort of locks up the system because it's trying to cover up as much as possible. It only does it on like the last one, so I can put these in here and it's all fine, like there's no freezing. But the last one, if I'm moving when I do it, it sort of stutters it because it's trying to fill in so much all at once. So I'll try not to do it as much as possible. I'll have to do it like that. So there's 0, and then the 9. If we want to do it in the sort of same style here. Do I want to have a curved 9 on the bottom? Because I mean, we could go easy and do it like that, and like this, and then like yeah, that's right, like that, and like this. Now, how would I curve this? I think I'm gonna have to do it like extend it down a little bit. I could do that, but then we have that button here. Or do we sort of curve the 9 into like a G, a backwards G? Let's see. Halfway down would be about here. It's not middle point, but I think I'd rather go one below the middle point. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So that's what it would look like. See, it doesn't look too bad, but I think just a little curve on the bottom here would help. What's gone wrong? It's not wrong. It looks like it's sort of got an underjaw. Oh no, it is one shorter. I thought something looked odd about it. Also, why is there 3 blocks at the bottom here? Hang on, there is something awry here. I've got 2 blocks on the bottom there, that one and that one, and then I've got one here. Because that should be like this. Yeah, I think that's better. That looks like a better 9 on there. 9 and 27. At last, we can all move on from this. 300 episodes of having the wrong number confused the pilots to no end. Old Air Force control there were going, yeah, if you land on runway 27, and they were like, yes, the only runway come in at heading 27, and they were like, which direction? And it caused a lot of accidents. But yeah, anyway, we're going to come down just a little bit from the airport to this little space that's here, right in the chunk error. For some reason. Hang on. Load in. Load. I know, we'll fix it. There we go. right in this little area here, we're going to do a little rent-a-car. But we might not get time to actually build the rent-a-car today, because I want to do something a little bit different, or something that I haven't done for a long time. I'm going to have to sort of work it out with you guys. But you know, we've got these vehicles in the game, right? It's like, oops, it's like a little RX-7 here. These are my favorite. This is Milox117s Car Pack for Flans. All the ones that are like this. With a little picture of like a little pixel art car. The pink ones are another mod. I can't remember what that mod is. I'll have a look in a minute, in fact. These ones are another mod. Oh, no, these are the same as the pink ones. It's just that these have icons for some reason. This is then another mod. I can't remember. Again, I can't remember what mod that one is. We'll have a look in a bit. And then this one is another mod. I think that's probably... I don't think it's MCHeli. I think it's just... That's basic Flans, isn't it? I think. And that's just basic Flans. I don't think it's... Oh, yeah, and then this one's another mod. I like this mod for the detail that are in the vehicles, but they're just not really... I don't think they drive all that well, or something. Because, I mean, it looks amazing. And they do drive. And we've got little sat-navs and stuff. They've used actual, like, pictures and stuff. But, I mean, they just drive terribly. They've got terrible, like, acceleration and stuff. Which is why I never really bothered using them. But anyway, going back to this mod, there's a load of different cars here, and I thought it'd be cool if our rent-a-car, because the rent-a-car building isn't all that interesting itself, but we could have like some cars out the front that you could rent. But rent-a-cars usually have all the same car, and you just sort of get one of their cars. And I thought it'd be cool if we made our own skin for it. That wouldn't actually be a bad car for it, you know. We need to find like a car. Obviously, I don't want a car with like a big spoiler on it or anything like that, like an RX-7. But that's nice. It's got a sunroof. It's got nice headlights. It's sort of going through and finding a vehicle. A Sprinter. I mean, it's a little bit older of a car. It's a hatchback. I don't know. I think it's a nice shaped car. I think I really like that one. I was looking through them earlier, and I think I was going for the FTO here. Again, it's got a little spoiler, but I mean, it's not like a sporty spoiler. Which one would you like more as a rent-a-car? Actually, I might like the FTO a little bit more for a little rent-a-car. Yeah, we'll go with the FTO. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually make our own skin for this. Now, I've done this before with the E-Space. Somewhere here. So this is the second E-Space, and this is the first E-Space. So the original E-Space, I just retextured to look like an ambulance. Because it was a nice big chunk. It was the only big chunky vehicle. It was before I had, like, actually, have I got an ambulance? I'm sure I've got an ambulance somewhere in here. I do somewhere. There's like an ambulance, but before I had that mod, I retextured this E-Space to look like an ambulance. I could sort of imagine the patient being in the back. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. And then I wanted a fire engine before I had these really nicely modelled fire engines. These two here with like little different ladders on. I retextured an E-Space, but I only had one. I only had one E-Space, but I found a way to add to the mod, basically add on to the mod that already existed. So I basically cloned the car, and then I retextured it to look like a fire engine, or as best that I could with the E-Space at the time. And I actually really like the look of this still. It's more of like a first responder one now, I feel, you know, with little ladders on the top, like a little first responder sort of vehicle. But yeah, so what we're going to try and do is I'm going to try and remember how I done that. And we're going to try and go through it together. A little bit of a different episode. So I should jump to my desktop. Okay, so I am here on my desktop, and if you need to get to your Minecraft folder and you don't know how to do it, just click a little file open button, and in this little top box you type %appdata%. Okay, and then that enters your roaming files here. Now, I've got a load of Minecraft ones, but for you guys, you probably only have one that is just .minecraft. I have like all sorts of mods and other series and stuff that I've done in the past. Zoo, this was the server one for the PvP server that I done ages back. I think that's just a test one, but the one that we need, that my world is saved on, is the .minecraft lands. So we go into that, and we've got the Flans mod folder. We've got the normal mods folder, and in the normal mods folder you've got like all of the other mods. We've got like Traincraft, World Edit, Rei Minimap, the Roads, the Beacon mod, MCHeli, but all Flans mods go into a different folder. It's a little bit complicated, same as like CustomNPCs, they have their own folder as well. But if we go into Flans, we've then got all of the Flans mod that we've got. So we've got Spinos Vehicles, which I think I like those ones. The Alcara, I'm pretty sure that's the like Porsche I showed you earlier. Fex's Flans Mod Plus, so that just sort of made it more responsive, I think. The Civil package gave us some war vehicles. The Modern Warfare content pack was the weapons. You need motor pack and you need simple parts or content parts, whatever, for the mod to work in the first place. But again, we want Milox117s Car Package. Now, for me, it's already like unpackaged. Yours might be like a little WinRAR thing, but you can just always extract if you need to. We can just go into it. And now we've got 3 folders: assets, com, and vehicles. I don't think there's anything in com, is there? This is just like all... I have no idea what any of that is. We're not going to need... I think that's the models themselves, so what they actually look like, but we're not editing that. We want assets and vehicles. We want those 2 folders. So if we go into vehicles, this is the list of all of the vehicles in the game. And we wanted, what was a Mitsubishi... It's in alphabetical order, obviously. Mitsubishi FTO was the vehicle that we wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this file and we'll just rename it to FTO2, so it's nice and easy for us to remember. So we've got the original FTO and then we've got FTO2. If we open up this document, open up on another window, there we go, we've got like basically the configuration file for the FTO. So we've got the name, Mitsubishi FTO. I don't think, let me just double check on my other one that we copied, E-space2. I did actually change the name on that. Okay, so we'll change the name here. So I've got Mitsubishi name. Now we're going to change this to FTO2. And the short name we're just going to change to FTO2 as well, because I'm keeping it all nice and simple. Icon will keep as FTO at the moment, but I can change that, I think, as well now. Texture is FTO texture, but we're going to have to change that to 2 because we're going to duplicate the texture in a moment. In fact, you know what? We'll just do that as well. We'll try and change the icon to a different icon as well, because as you can see on here, I don't know if this will actually record for you guys actually, but if not, I'm just scrolling between the 2 FTOs. In my hand, they've got the textures, but on my hotbar itself, the icon's the same. One doesn't look like an ambulance and the other like a fire engine. They both look like the same thing. Okay, rotate wheels is false on all of them because they're square wheels. I found them look a little bit weird. This is the position of the driver's seat, like the X, Y, and Z coordinates, and how many passengers you can take. I could add a passenger to this vehicle and then put the passenger XYZ locations, but I'm not going to bother. We don't need to worry about fuel tank size or cargo slots. We're not going to mess with the acceleration, the braking, the drag, the mass, the bounciness, the wheel radius, the wheel positions, anything like that. It doesn't have any weapons. The sounds we're going to leave as the normal sounds, and we're going to leave the scale at 1. So we can save that and close that. I'm going to be really embarrassed if none of this works. But now we can go into assets, Flans Mod. Now in textures and then blocks, no, and then items, sorry, these are the logos that go in your hand, like the icons for them in the menu. So if we take FTO, we copy and we paste that. Now we're going to change this to just FTO2 to match what we had in the config file. And then let's open this up in Photoshop and we have ourselves the FTO. Now for demonstration purposes, let's just change this to red, just so we can see. Oh, this is really quite annoying. How did I used to do that? Hardness like that. I don't know. It's been ages since I've done this kind of stuff. But we'll just make it red-ish then. In fact, we could like do a blend of red to orange. You guys get the gist. File, save, close. So now if we open up FTO2, we have ourselves the red to white, red to yellow car, and they normally be just yellow. Perfect. Okay. So that should have changed that. Now if we go back again and we go into skins this time, we've got the skins of all of them. As you can see, I've got eSpace F1 and eSpace F2. F1 is the ambulance, F2 is the fire. So we've got FTO texture right here. Perfect. If we copy and we paste that again, I'm just doing Control C and Control V to do that. If you guys don't know how to do that, you can just right click on it and go to copy and then right click again and paste. But we need to now name this to FTO texture 2. I think that's what we put it as, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. Vehicles FTO 2 texture FTO texture 2. Perfect. And we're not changing the model, obviously, because why would we want to change the model? Okay. Assets, Flans Mod, skins, FTO 2 texture. So okay, oops. Oh yeah. I closed Photoshop. We shall open Photoshop back up. And we shall drag the FTO texture 2 into here. Now this is where it goes very complicated. This is the texture of the FTO. Now a lot of it, you can work out what each part is. So if we zoom into the top here, we can see that these are the doors. We've got the right hand door and the left hand door. I know that because these are the indicators, and that's the way that the door would open. So that's the right hand side. This is the left hand side. This grey part is the inside of the door. The yellow part is the outside of the door. I don't really know what these parts are yet. These could potentially be wing mirrors. A lot of the time you can sort of look at the car and work out what the bits would be. So there's a little indicator for the door look, so we know that that's that sort of piece. We should be able to find the headlights. This looks like the roof to me. Nope, it might be the bonnet, because it's got these darker lines down the side. I think that might be the bonnet or the boot. We've got this part with a black part and then this. So I think that is probably going to be the start of the boot. This is the partial shelf and then the roof. Maybe, if we have a look. I'm thinking that this is the yellow bit and then that's that grey bit and then this is that yellow bit. It's weird how it's sort of laid out. You need to... a lot of experimentation, really. This looks like the bottom half of the boot with the little catches maybe on it. Maybe, or maybe those little dots are underneath the... Oh no, it's the bonnet, look, with the little 2 dots. Ah, they're like the little sprinklers for your windscreen. Headlights down here. We've got the wheels, so you've got the rim in front, and then you've got the brake disc and pad behind. Not quite sure what these are. Little grey bits on there. Sometimes it's quite fun to just look around and try and work it out. It could be the wing mirrors. It's got a similarly sort of grey to it. It could also be like the exhaust pipe or something. I can't actually see the brake discs at all in there. But who knows? So there's all 4 wheels. Oh no, there's the wing mirror. I don't know what that little black dot is there. There's the rear lights. There's something. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, basically anything yellow we're going to have to change, in short, to the colours that we want. So what are rent-a-car... I'll just get up Google. Rent-a-car. Okay, so I just got it on Google here. Rent-a-car car. It looks like they're usually just like a basic colour. What's the big one? Enterprise, isn't it? Enterprise rent-a-car. They're like black and green, aren't they? I reckon we could do a black and green car. Or dark grey on the bottom half, green on the top half, a little bit of white accenting maybe, and go from there. That's what we're going to do. Now, a lot of experimentation really is required for this, and I would recommend making a new layer, which is this little button down here, on top. So if you draw on here and you mess up, you can just remove it, and then you're not ruining the underneath part of it. Now I need to figure out how to not have... Well, I don't know why it's all like blurry and stuff on the side. Edit. Step backwards. I should be back. I should figure this out. Yeah, I was really stupid. It was very simple in the end. I was on brush tool, which gives you that sort of fade in effect. You just need pencil, and it's nice and solid. Perfect. Okay, so let's try and do a little bit of this together. Now, you're not going to hit this in one go, because you'll get parts wrong. You're not going to know what parts of the car each part is. And the way that I do that is I actually colour them a random colour. So let's do that, in fact, as a first part. So I don't know what this part is. I have no idea where this part on the car is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, well, might as well just stay with red. And, oops. And we're going to colour this in red. The undo button on Photoshop is horrendous because I think I've got my key binding to something else for the undo. Okay. I used to do this quite a lot in the series, didn't I? Okay, so that part's red. Now if we save this, bloop, we want to save it as a PNG file and then as FTO texture 2, save. Do you want to replace it? Of course we want to replace it. Just hit OK. Now if we go back into here, it is very unlikely that we'll be able to see it yet. In fact, I'll reload up the world and I shall get the Minecraft full screen for you guys. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I haven't actually looked for it yet. We're going to do it together just to see if I've duplicated the car correctly, because we never really checked that. Also, you need to close down Minecraft and reload up Minecraft for this to update, for you know, the vehicles to update, for your textures to update in general. So yeah, you can't just quit out of the world and reload up the world. You have to quit out of the game. So if I search FTO, yeah. So we've actually got the logo is right in our hand because we changed that, and somewhere on here, that's where it is. So this red part that we made is the middle points for the spoilers, or sort of the edge parts for the spoiler here. So there you go. In fact, it would probably be a really good idea to just change every panel of the car in Photoshop to a different color, and then you know exactly what each part is. I think that's how I'm going to actually do this. That would be such a smart thing to do. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I have made, or just finishing off, the world's first Minecraft rainbow car. I'm using rectangles in the end. I just found it a little bit quicker to do, and I just slightly changed the colour between each little portion here. And I think we've got one little more bit to do, so we'll go up into like a more of a pink here. One, and drop this down here. Oh, I went a little bit too big, so we can just shorten that in by a pixel. And then drag that along there. And I think I left this boot part yellow because I know where that is, and the same as the doors. I left the doors yellow because I know where the doors are. And I got this little tiny, in fact I should probably change this little strip of yellow at the bottom here. I got a feeling for some reason that that part's probably hidden. But we'll make a sort of hot pink here. And I'll just drag that across there. Okay, so we're going to save, save as a PNG. For FTO texture 2, and load up Minecraft. Play. And see what happens. See what it looks like. How cool does that car look? Okay, so as you can see, the layers of the textures actually overlap in some places, which is why you'll find the cars are mostly all the same color, so you don't sort of see it quite as easily. You can still see it a little bit here, but like, don't go too crazy with the colors because you'll just get this sort of glitchiness thing unless you like stand right at the right angle and then it sort of stops like that, and then it stops. So we can see now what part in Photoshop each part correlates to on the vehicle. I think that's probably that little strip, look, in that hot pink that we done. It's the little side skirt that goes down the side. Interesting, we've got a little light pink here. That's beautiful rain, isn't it, when it does that? Anyway, weather clear. So we've got like a dark purple, and then a lighter purple, or dark purple here, lighter purple here, and then a pink there. So you could do quite a nice sort of two-toned bumper on the back here. On the front, you've got like this violet, and then you've got a light blue, a greeny blue, and then an aqua, and then like a light green. Now, the only issue that you have now is that in Photoshop, you don't actually know which direction all of the parts are. So if you wanted something on this roof, like you wanted a piece of writing right here, in Photoshop, you don't actually know which way it's pointing. So you just have to do a little bit of experimenting, really, when it comes to that. Here's the wing mirror parts. They're like in a grey-y blue colour, and then the stems are black. So you can customize absolutely any part of this, these like paint jobs. You can make them as complicated or as crazy as you wanted. In fact, there is some My Little Pony ones in here. I think all of the ones, in fact. They've actually done like little pixel arts on the side, look, for Applejack, which is quite cool, like Japanese JDM sort of look. Anyway, I'm going to work a little bit in Photoshop now, and I think I want to go with a dark grey, a very dark grey, and a dark green with some white accenting. I want it just to look executive, but not complicated. It's going to be a basic look, but it's just going to be sort of a fleet vehicle, and when we get like a load of them in a line, it should look pretty nice. Okay, I am not joking when I say this is not easy. And it takes a long time. I've been doing it for about an hour, and I've gone very simple in the end. I've put a green stripe over the top of the bonnet and over the top of the roof, and I've made the bumpers on the bottom white. I think it looks quite nice. I quite like it, but this is what the finished look looks like. Still got the lights in there. I've kept the wheels the same. You could change the wheels if you wanted to, but I like this look. It's nice and simple. So all we need to do now is just update the FTO2. Let me just close that and open up this one. Now, this episode, I don't know how long this episode's actually going to be for you guys. For me, it's been forever. So I don't know how long I'm going to continue on for. But let's just dress this up here. Get the black going back. Oops, black going back around all this part from where I messed it up when I was playing about, and then we'll go with grey because it's quite a dark grey car. I did record like a time lapse of me doing it, but it might just have taken too long, so I might just cut it out and pretend that I never done it and you guys never saw it, because I don't think you'll see it. I think it's going to be too long. And then we've got a little white bumper that goes like that. Oh, and it's got little green wing mirrors, so we'll put little green wing mirrors on it like that. I think something like that. You can't see the stripe from the top. Yeah, that should work out well. Save. Okay, close. I shall see you in Minecraft. Okay, I'm back in Minecraft, and by the way, I actually found a bit of a shortcut to not having to close down the game and reopen the game every time to like reload the textures. If you hold down F3 and press T, the letter T, while holding down F3, it'll actually reload all of the textures. It freezes your computer just for 5 or 6 seconds. It sort of freezes it while it reloads them all back up, but that saves you quitting out the game and going back in, because when you're painting these cars, it takes forever to get it all pixel right. So I should be able to search FTO. Yeah, it's there. It works. Where is it in here? Would it be next to the other FTO? I don't know if it would be or not. It doesn't look like it's the two E spaces are apart. So where is it? It's going to be somewhere in here. It's not quite that one. Not that one. I'm probably just being blind. I can't see it there. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom here. Cool. So if we place it down. Ta-da! I think it looks pretty cool. It takes, like you look at that and you go, AJ, that took you an hour? Yes, it took an hour to get all of this lined up, because it's not one straight piece. This is like, it's one piece here, and then this is another piece, and I think there's a little piece there, and then this is a piece. This is a piece. This is made up of two different pieces. See how it sort of goes up? It's like flat here. And then it sort of goes up. Where it goes up, that's actually a different piece. I didn't bother with the back part because this is a little piece here, and I really couldn't be bothered by then. I've spent way too long in it. The interior is still the same. Little green dot on the top of the stick. It's just a nice sort of change in there. But yeah. Oh, and does it actually work? Yeah. It does, and it's all together. Excellent. Okay, so that took way longer than I thought it was going to do. I did suspect it was going to take a while. I didn't quite expect it to be this long. But I'm thinking, when we do the building, we have these sort of lined up. Like, I think I can get that a little bit closer. We get these lined up like this. Out the front. And I think that's just going to look so cool to have like a rental place with like all the same cars out there. And it's so close to the airport, so any tourists coming in can just come down the road, rent a car, and then drive around. It looks really cool. I actually really like the design. It's nice and simple, but executive. It's a nice car. It'll get you about. Nice boot size. Perfect. Alright guys, I am going to leave it there. I don't know how long this episode's actually going to be, but if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.